stuff. So if you don't know what Dreams is, because I don't think they marketed it super well, it's been in development hell for years and years and years.
I had no idea it was coming out.
Yeah, and like even at like Sony's conferences and things, we were always like, what is this game? It's kind of confusing. So Dreams is the latest game from Media Molecule, the people that made Little Big Planet 1, 2, 3, and 4. No, sorry. After Little Big Planet 3, they made a game called Tearaway, which I don't think really had any building aspect to it. I think it was just like a kind of a shorter kind of game. But yeah, Media Molecule is kind of like a AA sort of studio for Sony making exclusive stuff. And yeah, Dreams is kind of their project they've been working on for like 10 years now or something. But essentially, Little Big Planet, right, had like its basic campaign. But where that game was people had such a control over making levels and then releasing them, and people like kind of curating and playing them online. So Dreams is essentially that, but like, I don't know, times a million or something. Like it's, Little Big Planet, you're always making platformers as far as I know. Like you could make probably more intricate stuff, but for the most part, you're making 2D platformers. Whereas Dreams is like you can make, in theory, like kind of anything you want. And Dreams is not just a tool to make games. Like some people make little like videos or like short movies and stuff. There's a podcast on there, like a weekly podcast that someone's made. I think is really cool. Some people just make like art and stuff. Some people will just make like assets and stuff that like other people use in games. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so it's a pretty robust feature, and I've toyed around a little bit with the building stuff, but mostly I've just kind of played games because, I want to make some stuff, but it's just like such a time investment.
Sorry, I just got a quick question.
Yeah.
So if you're like, let's say I want to play Taylor's game, do I stream it or download it, or is it just all included in? So
I guess you essentially like, I don't really know how it works because it's like seamless. You click on a game and it loads instantly, and then you're playing.
Could you compare it to like Mario Maker? Sort of.
Yeah, like it's essentially Mario Maker. Okay. Like you don't have to wait for things to load. Like sometimes there's like a very quick load, but it's pretty seamless. But yeah, it's a great tool. For me, it was like a really easy purchase because one, I always liked Little Big Planet games, but I didn't have a PS3, and then even I didn't have a PS4 until later. So like I didn't have it when like those games launched, and then I just kind of never got around to buying them. But I really like Little Big Planet games, and then I just wanted to support this game just because I think it's so ambitious and so wild, but at the same time, it's like, it's great, right? Because it's just playing on like people's creative ambitions, and like this is the easiest way to make the game that you want to make, right? Easier than Game Maker, easier than Unity, all that stuff. So I think it's just really cool from that perspective. And then one, it's like, or I guess three, whatever number I'm on, it's not like a full price game. For me, it was $55, taxes included. So like I think if you're in the US, it's like it's like a $40 game essentially. So it's a little bit cheaper, a little bit easier to buy into it and check it out. But it's pretty great from what I've played so far. I really like it. I've toyed around with, like, there's a lot of tutorials on like how to make stuff. So I've played around a bit with that, and it seems like there is a ton of features, and they have like certain sets. So there's like the temple set. So it's like all these kind of temple related set pieces you can just use. So if you just want to make a platform or something, Media Molecules made like this whole thing that you can like quickly kind of get your foot in the door sort of thing and start testing it out. But yeah, what this game all about for me at least right now is just like going through and playing all these games that people have made, because it's been in like an open close. I'm not really sure how the beta worked, but people have been playing and making stuff for a while. Obviously they kind of had to do that, so there was stuff to play at launch. Like Media Molecule has a few games in there, but obviously like it's primarily like user-made levels. Yeah. So yeah, I've played a good amount. I've played a lot of stuff and tons of different genres. Like I said earlier, I played like a Guitar Hero thing. It's called like Fret Star, I think it's called. So you have like 4 buttons, and it's pretty fun. There's only a couple songs in there right now, but it was still like, it was cool to play that. There's like, you guys know like those Marble Blast games, or like Monkey Ball, or what's it called? Is it called Monkey Ball?
I think so.
I don't know why I'm blanking. Monkey Ball. Anyway, those games, you play like as a marble, and you gotta navigate through the level. There's like a pretty fully fledged version of that. There's like probably 20 or 30 levels that it was pretty fun. I played through all of that because I really liked that. Took me probably like an hour to get through all that. Super Monkey Ball. There you go. But yeah, I'd say most of it is like platformers, just because that's probably kind of the easiest thing to make on paper for like anyone who's a new game developer, right? Making a platformer is pretty simple. Doesn't mean it's a good platformer, but it's just like the easiest thing to get in there and make. But yeah, people have been pretty ambitious with it. Some people are making like kind of horror, like
you said there was a
experiential
PT
sort of games. Yeah, like someone remade PT. I didn't play that one, but it's in there. There's a lot of remakes and stuff. Like and some of them are still like pretty new on. Like there's like Simpsons Hit and Run you can play in there, where it's like they only have like the Simpsons street, but you can run around and get in the car and drive around and stuff. So it's for me, it's like I know right now it might not be the best, but I'm just banking on like in the future it's going to be pretty awesome. Like if I log in 4 months from now, like what are the games going to be?
Totally.
And yeah, like some of them are really short, and like most of them are really, really short games to like get through to the end. But I've had like a lot of fun playing some different stuff. And I think what's cool for me is like it's just all about variety. And when I like look at my gaming history, like I really like racing games, for example, but for me it's hard to like justify buying like a new racing game just because they're expensive, and it's like that's only the kind of game I want to play for like a couple hours here or there. So it's like I'm not really ever going to buy one on release, but on Dreams I can just go in, punch racing game in the search bar, and just like play some random racing games and kind of get that fulfillment. So like I really enjoy the game so far. I think it's fun. I haven't really messed around with the builder too much. I'd like to try that because I have some ideas, some things I'd like to do, but we'll see if I can make them in there. But yeah, there's a couple games I want to shout out if you do decide to get it and want to play some levels. But in terms of like searching and stuff, like there's, it's sorted by like top rated games or like trending games or whatever. So a lot of those ones, like the top rated games, are like fun stuff. Like there's some well-made games in there that are cool to play. So yeah, let's see. There was one that I really liked called The Off-Road Lands. Essentially, you're just like in this Jeep. It's pretty short. It's probably like 5-10 minutes, but you're just kind of driving through these different landscapes. It's kind of like just an experiential game. Like there's not really many mechanics to it, but you're just driving through these different like dream-like scenarios. And I think it fits really well. Like the aesthetic of the game, like obviously people can make it look however they want. There's tons of art tools, but like the kind of default look the game has is very like kind of watercolor and like brush strokes and stuff, like the art. So it really does feel like you're playing like these dreams that people have had of like a random game or weird scenario. So it's kind of interesting that it kind of embodies what the name of the game is. Like it does feel like you're just playing these short dreams that people have had or something. So it's kind of weird how that kind of connects like that. But yeah, what else do I want to shout out? Ocean Odyssey is a cool game where you just like start on the stranded island and you just get on this raft and go to like all these different islands collecting stuff, and then there is a story somewhat that's kind of connecting it all, but it's like a fun short game. City Simulator is it's just like a city builder where you're putting streets together, putting like the residential areas and the construction zones and whatnot, and just building up the city, making your income and stuff. So that was really cool that someone made something like that in there. Like that's what I'm curious about. Like, can people make like a Fire Emblem style like turn-based grid strategy game? I'm sure you could. I haven't seen that yet, but I'm sure like anything's possible if you're willing to figure out how it all works.
People get creative with the characters, and the storyline too. That'd be awesome.
Another kind of recreation I wanted to show it is it's called Fallout 4 Dreams Edition, and I mean it's not like that long, but I was like shocked at how like well made it was. Like you start with like your 10mm pistol and you can walk around a few different areas. There's like a city area and there's like an outer beach area and whatnot, but it like was surprisingly good. Like obviously it doesn't have like all these NPCs and dialogue and these big branching stories. Like it's more of a work in progress, which a lot of them are right now, but I thought it was pretty crazy, like the level of detail that it was kind of put in there. And then the other one I wanted to shout out is called Taken by the Rust. There's 2 parts to it, but this one, like when I was playing through them, like a lot of them were simple games, are like really short, and I was like, okay, these are cool, and like they're early on stuff, and I'm curious where it's going to be in a few months, but like nothing that's like mind-blowing. But when I played this one, Taken by the Rust, I was just like, that's when I was like, holy shit, this game could be something really, really special. It was just like this massive open world. You're kind of on like more of a streamlined path, but like it was beautiful, like one of the most beautiful games I've ever played, honestly. It was fucking jaw-dropping how good this game looked. And, it was just like this game made in dreams. And you're just kind of going through these different areas. Eventually you get like this jump thing, the super jump, and you're kind of jumping through these monolithic environments. But it's just like, it was massive and super detailed and like a crazy draw distance. Like you could see tons of mountains in the background. I don't know if that was just like a mind trick thing where it looked like mountains in the distance, or if they were actually put all there. But yeah, that one was when I was really blown away. And I was like, okay, if someone took like this world or this level of detail and then actually puts like some mechanics in there, or like some combat or RPG elements or something, then like people could really make some wild stuff. And it seems like there's a lot of focus on like collaboration in it as well. There's a lot of tools like you can, I don't know if you can like choose to allow people to take assets from your games, but a lot of people will like take something that someone else made, put it in their game, or they work with other people. And it seems like that stuff's really well put together, so you can easily collaborate with people, which is a good sign, right? Because then you can just make a bigger game at like a quicker scale or something.
So are you, from my only experience with it is saying that Ghost of Tsushima remake on Dreams. So it looked like you can get really in-depth designing what you want. So like, let's say if I bought this game, could I go on and legit make a 3D or like a 2D side-scrolling Ghost Rider game?
Yeah.
So how is that in depth? Like, am I creating the skull or?
I've seen like at least 10 games where you're playing as a Flash running through this giant city.
Yeah.
There's like, I think someone put together this giant city. It's probably collaboration. Other people have used it in different projects.
Okay.
So someone like made a Flash that you can play as, and then you can just drop them in that city and run around. Like there's tons of recreation stuff like that. So you could make a Ghost Rider game.
And is the creation process pretty straightforward, pretty simple if you're designing like a 3D model of a person that you're playing as?
So once again, the collaboration thing. So there's one guy I've seen, because since I got the game, I hopped on the Discord and I've been checking out the subreddit as well, just to see what people are talking about, see like some other stuff that I might not be noticing just by scrolling through in-game. There's also like on the website you can go on and find stuff. I haven't used that yet, but it seems like there's a lot of ways to connect with the community and find stuff. But there is a guy who's been making like a rigging model essentially. So it's just essentially he's just trying to make like a really detailed mannequin essentially that anyone could take, put their assets on it, put their art on it, and then you could have that character in your game. Because like I played like a Nier Automata like rip off where you're playing as 2B just running around, and a couple other ones where you're playing like kind of humanoids like that, and the movements can be a bit janky. But this guy, for example, is making like this really detailed mannequin that you could just take that, put your cool Ghost Rider look on it, make your level, drop them in there.
That's really cool.
And you could even take like excuse me, you could take like someone's detailed street that they put together, put that in your Ghost Rider game, and now you have like two parts down. So
it sounds like whether or not you want to go full detail where you're like that guy is starting like sounds like his own like collaborative project of making this mannequin, or you can just literally be the guy that's taking, not necessarily like stealing stuff from other people, because it's
all about collaboration.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's cool though, because it sounds like if I want to dive in and put 500 hours only focusing on this lampshade and make it the most beautiful lampshade you've ever seen in my life, or I just want to basically make an easy platform, like that's the thing. Like
there's a couple people that I really liked their game, so I checked their profile out and see what other stuff they've made. I've played like, this guy's made like 3 games. Cool, I played all of them. Like one guy, I don't have his name written down, but he just makes like these really simple, I think it was the guy that actually made that truck game that I talked about, the Off-Road Lands one. And he just makes like these simple like experience ones, but they're like really good movement and they're really fun to play. But then there's one guy, I clicked on his games, and like he's made a couple games, but he's also just made like a bunch of art assets, right? So he's just made like a really detailed lampshade or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And then so other people can just take that and put that in
that's really cool
in their game.
Man, that's exciting.
Yeah,
I might have to check this out.
It's really cool. I played like this fucking scary ass game yesterday where I saw this character was like running at me. It's like really dark. And then, so they like ran, they're really fast. So they caught up to me, and then I turned my light on. It was like this scary zombie girl. And then like I ran away, and then I turned around. She was still right behind me. It's fucking terrifying. So honestly, like I can't recommend it to everyone, because a lot of it honestly is you're sitting there on the menu scrolling through games, right? Like even when you get into one that's cool, it's like it might only be 5 minutes long or something. So like it's not a game for everyone. Like if you just want to, if you're the kind of person that just wants to sit down and game for 2 hours, like worry free, this might not be the one, right? Because you're gonna have to be looking through stuff, and you might get a lot of crap. You might get like a bunch of work in progress, unfinished things. But for me, it's perfect. Like I imagine like right now I'm kind of still playing it pretty consistently, but like it'll probably get to a point where like every couple weeks or every month I'm hopping in and playing for a few hours, seeing what's new, or even check the games I've liked previously and see how they've come along, because they're the work in progress ones. See like, oh, how's this game doing after a month of this guy working on it? So yeah, it's a really really interesting, super unique, weird game that I'm really happy exists, and I'm super curious what they do with it, like in terms of in terms of like how Sony pushes it, like how it goes with PS5. Do they make a PS5 edition? Do they like bundle it somehow onto the console and whatnot? So, but yeah, Taylor, you should get it and make a Ghost Rider game.
It's not exclusive.
I didn't think to search Ghost Rider. No, it is on PS4 only.
Oh, so it is exclusive.
So you can't play it right now. But I'm saying go buy a PS4 so you can make your Ghost Rider game of
dreams. If you find anything Ghost Rider related,
I didn't search it. When I get home tonight, I'll pump it in the search bar.
I'm really paint me intrigued. Actually,
paint me.
Color him. Yeah. Don't paint him.
I'm not gonna paint him. I'll leave him alone.
Right on.
So that's Dreams. I don't know what. I think it's an impossible game to like rate. I mean, I don't do ratings anyway, but yeah, I don't know.
It would depend on what game.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Is it a good dream or a bad dream? It's a nightmare.
It's a very good dream.
Oh, sounds like a good one, especially like the features that they add, the tools that they give you.
Like, because I traditionally have really liked level editors in games. I've spent a lot of hours on that when I had more time when I was a bit younger. Yeah. So right now it's kind of tricky, but I'd like to at some point kind of make something, or at least collaborate on something. Like I don't know if I wanted to do a full thing, like and doing all the art, making the game, like that'd be a lot to put together.
Make a new Spelunky.
Make the new Spelunky. I mean, Spelunky 2 is coming out this year, fucking hopefully. So I don't think I need to remake perfection. You know, I'll let that stay in and of itself. But yeah, you know, I can't say go buy it. Yeah. But for me, I'm happy with my purchase.
Yeah.
Even if like right now I haven't hit that value, right? I haven't gotten that many great experiences yet, but I've had some really good experiences. So
would you say this is like the game's adaptation of Inception?
The game's adaptation.
What a question.
Dude, someone should make an Inception game. That'd be super sick. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to answer that question. But it does feel like you're just playing through a bunch of people's dreams. You're incepting.
It's well named. It's a well named game. It
is.
Like. Yeah.
And I think it is confusing marketing. I don't think they marketed it that much.
I didn't even know this was a thing.
Yeah. So. It's just hard to market, right? How do you advertise this game?
Totally.
It's a creation tool, also a curation tool.
Yeah.
Place to play little indie games. Like, I don't know. How do you sell it? Not sure. But hopefully it does pretty well. Hopefully the fact that it's not a traditional fully priced $60 US, $80 Canadian dollars game, maybe hopefully it makes it easier for people to buy in, you know?
Yeah.